Ladies and gentlemen, good morning judges. We're the Dolphin team from Prastia Mulia University, Indonesia. My name is Stephanie, this is Micheal, Marcell, and also Sacarissa. In this presentation, we would like to elaborate on MCOM 5 most crucial issues and give recommendation that we believe will give MCOM the best solution in the future and also create shareholder value in the future. MCOM is currently the biggest mobile telecommunication company with over 250 million mobile subscribers. It offers the best business solutions, mobile data services, messaging, and also value-added services. Growing rapidly in sub-Saharan African region, MCOM has a great opportunity to grow since it is predicted that there will be a 12% increase in subscriber number and also 11% increase in market penetration by 2020. But to grab all of this upcoming opportunity, MCOM has to first overcome its business and ethical issue. We have prioritized the issue based on time, financial, reputational, and also long-term impact. And there are 5 things that MCOM needs to do. The first one is to settle the court process in Nakalia as soon as possible. Second is to sell off the business unit in Alania and just walk out from it. The third is to continue to process the shared service center in Sedimba. The fourth is to sell and lease back the tower and use the money to fund the fine in Nakalia. And the fifth is to acquire CloudNet as the best strategy to enter Cinzia. By doing all of this recommendation, we believe MCOM could achieve its sustainable growth in the future. And after discussing about the prioritization, we will then discuss about the analysis of each issue, give recommendation, action plan, and also talking about the ethical side. Now, let's start with the first issue.
The first and the most important issue is the compliance issue in Nakalia, our biggest market. Unable to fulfill the requirement from NTRA, MCOM was fined for $3.9 billion after negotiation, which negotiation has led to bad publicity, accusing MCOM to support terrorist action. Financially speaking, because of this issue, we see a fall of market capitalization by 25%, and we see a risk of failure to pay, since the fine is 36% of our 2015's turnover. Our reputation has also been impacted. Trust issue from the shareholders, and then we see a bad image that has been formed in the market, which is threatening our strategic positions as market leader in Nakalia. Therefore, an immediate and right action needs to be taken. We do not recommend MCOM to continue this court action because this action will only lead to worsen MCOM's reputation in the eye of the stakeholders, and we see there is only a low chance for fine reduction from the government. Therefore, we recommend MCOM to settle the court action and accept the fine, since this action will regain stakeholders' trust back for MCOM. The first action needs to be taken is to settle the court action, accept the fine, pay the initial payment to the government to show a goodwill, obligate all active users to register their numbers, and help anti-terrorism campaign. Finally, we can pursue a better term of payment, a win-win solution between MCOM and government. By doing this action plan and recommendation, we believe MCOM can regain its reputation in the eye of the stakeholders to be a respectable and trustable company in Nakalia.
The issue that comes second in prioritization is about the political risk and strategic uncertainty in Alania. Currently, MCOM holds 49% share of JV Cellular, but unfortunately, it is now in an unstable political situation and being isolated by NNPT for enriching uranium. Consequently, MCOM could not retrieve 4.2 billion Sedimba dollar dividend and 5.8 billion Sedimba dollar loan receivable. MCOM has 3 alternatives to overcome this issue. But we do not recommend MCOM to take the first and the second alternative. This is because of these 3 main reasons. The first reason is because of a very high risk of being nationalized by the regime. And if MCOM is being nationalized by the regime, MCOM will lose everything in Alania. The second reason is because there is a hyperinflation within the country, and we believe that it could threaten MCOM profitability in the future and also higher translation risk for MCOM investment in the future. The third reason is because it will harm MCOM good global brand reputation because MCOM is investing on a country which is developing WMD. Thus, we believe that the best option for MCOM to take is the third alternative, which is to sell off the business units in Alania and just walk out from it. It will give MCOM positive of 73 billion Sadimba dollar option value. And if MCOM wants to get into the Middle East market, MCOM could always take the share for share offer from the Turkish mobile share. And if it doesn't work, MCOM can sell this and use the money to fund the fine in Nakalia or even to expand in Cinzia.
The third issue about MCOM proposal in expanding shared service center across the function, which is facing many challenges. Although we have seen a saving of 6.6 billion Saniba dollars from 2012 to 2014, MCOM's investor is doubtful about the number. Moreover, we see a protest from the market from the dilation of job creation in the market and employees' anxieties. Therefore, for this issue, the question is whether to continue or not continue the expansion of shared service center. Our assessment from the operational point of view, shared service center is very logical to be implemented or even expanded. Because of shared service center, we see a working structure more effective, task delegation simpler, which will lead to economies of scale. And moreover, from financial point of view, we have seen a saving that has been proven by shared service center to make our operational even more agile. Therefore, for this issue, we recommend MCOM to continue the expansion of shared service center across function. Nevertheless, strategic implementation is very crucial to hold public and employees' anxiousness. We recommend MCOM to implement shared service center step by step, area per area.
The fourth issue in the prioritization is about financial strategy and Nakalia Fund, of course, and of course MCOM capital structure. How should we finance Nakalia Fund amounted 58 billion Sadimba dollars? Before that, external auditors will come in the next 21 days. Therefore, we should do some financial adjustments and give audit considerations to the external auditors. Some financial adjustments that need to be done are following. First is the recognition of fine amounted 58 billion Sadimba dollars. The second is the record the quote of tower of sale amounted 5 million Sadimba dollars, and the reclassifications of tower from asset to asset available for sale amounted 20 billion Sadimba dollars. And the last one is the goodwill impairment amounted 4,800 US dollars. This altogether will result in the worsen of the group income into a loss of 85.5 billion Sadimba dollars. Moving on to the audit considerations, there are two considerations that needed to be taken into account. The first is going concern, especially in business of Alania that we are trying to walk out of it. And the second is the materiality in planning and performing audit in multi-location engagements. And now for the funding of fine. There are four alternatives that we can do to fund this fine. The first one is to issue more shares. The second is to borrow money from the bank or issue some bonds. The third one is Turkish mobile share sale. And the last is to sell and lease back of tower of Sidams. From terms and times perspective, we can see the quickest and the easiest one to be done is the sale and lease back of towers, because it's already done. So we can retrieve the money immediately. And the second is from the acquiring cost perspective. We can see that it is the cheapest because it will only occur administrative costs. And the last one is from the adequacy of fund. 3 out of 4 options will give the adequate amount to be retrieved and we can pay the fine of Nakalia. Another consideration that we should take into account is that share issuance will strengthen our balance sheet, and it will also minimize our volatility of income. And the second one is that borrowing will weaken our balance sheet, especially the solvability ratio. And it will also help tax reduction due to the increase of interest payment rather than dividend payment. And the last one is sale and leaseback of towers will help decrease tax because of the bigger depreciation expense rather than operating lease expense. Taking into account that all of this is very important, that we need to consider the strategic considerations, which is to minimize our earning volatility. Then we rank and weigh all the ranking, and we come up with the best source of fund for Nakalia fine, which is the sale and leaseback of Tower of Sidams.
The last issue is about expansion to Cinzia, the 4th largest mobile market operator in the world. There will be renewal operating contracts for the biggest 4 operating mobile operators, which take 82% market share in Cinzia, and there will be an auction to get these operating contracts. Our assessments are based on suitability, acceptability, and feasibility assessment. First, from the suitability assessment, we know that Cinzia has 305 million of subscribers who has exceptional demand for internet service. Government also support telecommunication sector with internet access for all program. Government was introduced mobile number portability that enabled customer to keep their mobile phone number even though they change their service provider. This can help MCOM to do market penetration in Cinzia, knowing customer resistance to change their service provider will be very low. Second, acceptability. From acceptability, we can see that Cinzia has change of political power. Populist party with 72% chance of winning wants to protect national strategic importance from foreign company, such as telecommunication sector. This creates tendency from populist party to favor a local company. And if populist party win, the probability of foreign company winning the bid is only 4%. And third, intense price competition besides effect of mobile number portability. Considering the risk and the big opportunity of entering Cinzia, we're considering MCOM to enter Cinzia. But how? There are two different ways to enter Cinzia. First is MCOM Cinzia Limited as subsidiary of MCOM Global, and second by acquiring CloudNet. By using analytical hierarchy process method with three main criteria, cost, probability of acceptance, and profit certainty, we believe that acquiring CloudNet could give more benefit and more valuable and more saver for MCOM. Thus, we recommend MCOM to enter Cinzia by acquiring CloudNet. There is also some ethical issues that cannot be put aside. First, about the legal wrangling in Nakalia. It's about our decision that did not comply with Nakalian's government regulations toward national security, and it makes very bad reputation for our company. To overcome this issue, there are three actionable steps. First, implement a good principle of corporate governance by evaluating company policy, and second, hold a press conference to fully apologize for unable complying to Nakalian government. And third, inform an obligated unregistered user to register, or else there will be consequence for them. The second ethical issue is about expanding a shared service center, and it costs hundreds of our employees being laid off. To overcome this issue, we have two ways. First is a press conference to communicate why MCOM must implement the shared service center and the benefit of it, both for MCOM and the employee. And the second step is using a lift and shift method, which allows employee to decide whether they want to move to the center or not. If they don't want to move, they will be given time to look for a new job. The third ethical issue is about Alania consumer privacy. Alania regime has received several attacks by Arab Spring, and it makes Alania regime ask out about user personal information as tools and as evidence to track these attacks. Civil Liberty Watchdogs asked MCOM to withdraw from Alania, and we also recommend MCOM to withdraw from Alania because it's no longer accordance with integrity to protecting by consumer privacy, and it's also no longer accordance with human rights and privacy rights.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen and judges, we have finally come to our conclusion. As you can see from the screen here, that there are 5 things that MCOM needs to do to overcome its business issue. The first one is to settle the court process in Nakalia as soon as possible. Second is to sell off the business unit in Alania and just walk off from it. The third is to continue to process the shared service center in Sedimba. Fourth is to choose to sell and lease back the towers in Sidom and use the money to fund the fine in Nakalia. Fifth is to acquire CloudNet as the best strategy to enter Cinzia. And for the ethical issue, we believe that it is always best for MCOM to have a two-way communication between the people and also the company. And of course, keeps MCOM value and also integrity up by making sure that the consumer data privacy is safe with the company. We believe that it is one of CFO roles to make sure that there will be a shareholder values in the future. And we believe that by doing all of our recommendation, it will bring not only good reputation for MCOM, but also shareholder value in the future. We're Dolphin team. Thank you.
Thanks for the great presentation. In the Nakalian case, you indicated that they should pay the fine. I might have missed something. You did not share how. In the same scenario, do you think it is possible to negotiate a reduction in the fine? If so, what strategy will you employ to achieve that? The second question is, in all the scenarios, I did not hear social, political, legislative, economic risk and how they will be mitigated. Will you share if there are any environmental risk and how will they be mitigated? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. If I may rephrase your question, so you were asking how should we pay the fine in Nakalia, and is there any chance to do a reduction of the fine? That was your first question. Thank you very much.
Okay, to answer your first question, how can we pay this fine? So as the fourth case, we already mentioned that we want to pay the fine through we're using the money from the sale and leaseback of the tower sedums. We know that the towers the money of the tower sale we will have it next year. So by doing this, we are going to negotiate in terms of payment when we have our cash flow. When that sale happens, we can use that money. But we're not going to pursue another court action because we believe that there's a really low chance of we gonna win another court action because we already get the first reduction. And if we go to another court action, and there is a big chance that we will get an even bigger fine if they find another, for example, another evidence that we are supporting or in another way that we are not supposed to do it. So rather than taking this big risk of getting an even higher amount of fine, we are going to settle down with this and pay it from the sale and leaseback of towers that we're going to get next year according to our cash flows. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for the second question, may you please repeat that again? We're so sorry.
The question was, firstly, are there any environmental risk and how will they be mitigated?
So risk in the first issue, which is Nakalia. Okay.
Okay. From our point of view, the environmental risk in this case is, if there is any, is really small because the main risk in this issue is MCOM's reputational risk, which is as market leader and as really close relationship with the government, we have to respect the decision that the Nakalia government has made to take care of the national security of Nakalia. So talking about environmental risk, we didn't see any environmental risk regarding this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, again, thank you very much for the clear presentation. It was really nice to see all your rationale and how you're putting the decisions in place. On the reputation side, on the internal point of view in the shared service center, you mentioned that you would like to go step by step. Yeah. Can you please share a little bit more what is the horizon on what you meant with step by step, and how do you plan to mitigate the potential risk internally on this situation?
Okay, what we mean by step, yes, thank you for your question, so sorry. What we mean by step is we are thinking this case as a whole, not only in Sadimba, but also what happened in Nakalia. We know that Nakalia is now facing a really dynamic situation because of the fine and everything. It really impacts how the people look at MCOM. So we want to do this shared service center every country except Nakalia. So after the Nakalia situation has become better, we will then go into Nakalia and continue the shared service center. So we are waiting for the condition to be better.
Sorry, so you're expecting in the next 12 months or the coming 2 years, or what is the horizon that you're expecting on this?
The horizon of time.
Yeah.
The horizon of the time we are expecting the implementation of shared service center, I think it is finished within the 2 years because we see the unstable political condition in Nakalia and our reputation is in danger. We have to take care of the reputation issue in each market first. Then we can have the shared service center implementation fully implemented across the function. So yeah, basically we want to first take care of our reputation reputation issue first, and then we are expecting not taking this expansion into like priority. I know we realize that there will be opportunity loss if we mencegah apa? If we
avoid.
no if we take a longer time to implement shared service center. But this is like the most logical way we can be thinking about to implement shared service center in terms of we can save the cost and we can save the reputation of the company.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for the
very much.
comprehensive recommendations you've provided to us. I just want to clarify. You advised that we should pay the fine, which has been initially reduced without further negotiations for reduction so that we don't strain relationships. You also said that we will pay it from the sale and leaseback of the towers and that we should sell in Alania and then buy in Turkey. What I'm not sure about is you haven't shown us, will we have enough money to do this? And if we don't, how do we supplement? Because I'm thinking the sale and leaseback of the towers is not going to be enough capital for us to undertake all those recommendations that you've provided.
Thank you very much for the question. My colleague Sacarissa or Marcell will answer the question.
First of all, first we can take money from the sale and leaseback of tower, and after we do that, if we still not enough money, we can get money from saving from the shared service center, which take around 4 billion of Sadimba dollar, and it can be for enough money to get payment to the settlement payment to the government of Nakalia.
Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Can you just clarify in terms of, and it goes back to the funding that you say that you want to minimize volatility in earnings. How do you align that in terms of overall shareholder growth, as well as taking into account technology that will change? Specifically, when 4G comes in, towers suddenly becomes critical, but you don't have the towers going forward.
By acquiring CloudNet, we know that CloudNet has advanced technology with the computing with the cloud technology, and it will be benefit for us to get new technology for the telecom industry. And for the operating sell and operating leaseback, it's very beneficial for us because when new technology come to the market, we don't need to more investment. We just operating lease. So is the technology obsolete, we can change to the new operating license that provide new technology, sir.
Yeah, to add my friend, so actually to minimize earning volatility, we are fully aware that a big investment is needed in future technology, especially in like 4G, even 5G that will come in the future for our telecommunication. To be sustained, we have to keep investing in that particular technology. But what we do to minimize earning volatility, to adjust with the management strategy is that first we want to our company is in a mess, so we want to calm down first, take care of the sell and leaseback, take care of our reputation, take care of our debt, and then after that we can invest again, and there's a trend thank you.
Thank you very much.